Welcome to Hustle System. My name is Mikhail, where I help people master the mindset, build a better business, and help you live your life on your terms. In this video, we got something special. It's Motivation Monday. We're going to show you how to stop being weak. Before we dig in, please subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. And if you have subscribed but have not yet clicked the notification bell, please click that so you get notified when I upload more awesome videos like this. Motivation Monday. It's another week. It's another opportunity to get something good happening in your life. And today I want to talk about how to stop being weak. Okay, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because I grew up as the smallest kids in my school. I always got picked on, always got bullied, I always got made fun of, and it drove me off the wall. It drove me to video games, it drove me to drugs, it drove me to isolation, depression, you name it. And it was not a very fun journey. I learned a lot. I became who I am because of it. But there was a moment where I realized, you know what? This is a self-association that I have, is that I am weak, okay? I was in my early 20s, and it took me several years to break myself out of that. And if you're somebody who's watching this video, even if you perceive yourself as relatively strong, I still urge you to continue watching, because we're gonna break down some thought patterns and belief patterns that we might have about ourselves that are actually limiting us from getting the life that we want and being in the life that we want, living it right here, right now, in this moment. So how do you stop being weak? The first is you give yourself permission to offend other people, okay? This was the biggest thing for me. I was very much a people pleaser. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to make sure nobody got too offended. I was not the type of person that welcomed conflict into my life. I avoided conflict. I was very much kind of on the pacifist side of things, and people mistook that for weakness and they abused it. Now, this doesn't mean go out and be aggressive and start fights with people, but as soon as you allow yourself and give yourself the permission to offend other people, there's something really magical that happens. Okay, and this is going to be one of the seeds of power that we're going to plant right here, right now, today on this Motivation Monday. What happens is you are allowed to speak your mind now. You have allowed yourself to speak your mind without having to worry about what other people think, because otherwise you're not really even being you, are you? You go out in a social situation and you're talking and you're like, oh, I hope people like me. Why? Why and how? How can people like you if your biggest concern is people liking you? Really track with me here, okay? I want people to like me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do things I think they like. So that means they are going to like me as the person who does the things that I think they like. They don't really like me. They like the superficial output that I'm creating that's meant to trigger their senses. And then what happens is, what if somebody doesn't like you? Now you're confused. You're like, I've done what you wanted me to do, or I thought you wanted me to do, and you still don't like me. Wow, I must really be terrible. And the biggest problem with this is, as soon as you give yourself permission to offend other people, something really, really magical happens is people start to like you more. In fact, they start to like you more, and they start to like you for who you are. You start saying, you know what, I don't care if I rub elbows. This is how I feel about it. I don't care if you don't like it. It's how I feel about it. Like, I think, like I'll give you one. I'll put myself into the guy. I think the average person is lazy. I think the average person is pathetic and lazy, and they're going to have a terrible life. That's how I feel, okay? That's me. That's my honest opinion. I feel that by default, the average person wants to eat, they want to reproduce, they want to live a comfortable life, and then they want to die without having fully realized their potential, because it's a heck of a lot easier than facing it while you're on the ground, okay? It's a lot easier to make excuses than it is to get results, guys. That's the way I feel. I feel that 9 out of 10 people would rather make excuses than get results, and 1 out of 10 are the people watching this channel. That's what I hope for, okay? Honest. Not everybody will like that. They say, I'm not lazy, I'm just blah, blah, blah. And I don't care. I don't care because, again, if they're saying I'm not lazy, I'm just blah, blah, that's another excuse, right? So it just reinforces that paradigm even further. So there's a certain sense of power that comes with your ability to do that. And again, we're planting seeds of power in this video. I want you to understand that you are not weak, okay? You might be physically not the strongest person. You might be maybe shorter. You might have whatever insecurities you have to own them. You have to own them. What you can't replace, you feature. What you can't displace, you feature. So if there's a guy, a good friend of mine, Farbstein. He's kind of a short guy, and he did a book called 10 Feet Tall. He's like, you know, I'm going to feature this. I'm going to feel like I'm a giant. Short little guy. How awesome is that? Like, it's so cool, right? Anybody can come up with an excuse to sit and cry in a corner and be sad about themselves, all right? It doesn't matter how successful or how beautiful you are. Some of the most beautiful people are the most insecure people. So how to stop being weak? Number one, give yourself permission to offend other people. Now, don't get yourself killed, but give yourself permission to say what's on your mind the way that you think it and see what happens. Because what you're going to notice is the response is actually nowhere near as bad as what you expect. You'd expect like people are like going to chastise you and like remove you from society like completely because of these thoughts that you have, but they won't, right? I just told you guys I think the average person is lazy. Okay? I just said that straight here on the internet. It's out there now. Okay? I don't care. I don't care because that's what I believe. I don't have to apologize or justify my beliefs to the world. And you shouldn't have to either. If you believe something, you should go for it as long as it doesn't proactively harm other people. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing to no longer being weak is work on your discipline. Discipline is king when it comes to strength. Because the reality is any progress you want to make in your life, you're not going to get there with a quantum leap. Okay, you can make adjustments, you can have epiphanies, and you can have quantum leaps in certain situations, but that's a lot like relying on three-pointers in a basketball game. Yes, you can nail them. Yes, you can hit them. And yes, you should try. But the entire game shouldn't be based around that one thing. You should really be thinking consistency and discipline. So the second key to no longer being weak on this Motivation Monday is what you're going to do this week. Okay, this week, not by the time you watch the next Motivation Monday, you better have this done. Okay, I'm going to call you out on it. This week, you're going to do that thing you've been procrastinating on. You know the thing. You know it. I don't have to go in there. I don't have to climb through the whatever you're watching, through your laptop or through your TV or through your phone. Okay? I don't have to climb through and tell you what that thing is. You know what that thing is. Okay? The procrastination, because you don't have the discipline. Everybody wants inspiration. Everybody wants motivation. You know what nobody seems to focus on? Hey, wake up early. Do the work. Show up. Get better. Sharpen the sword. Improve your skills. And then you know what? Get to bed on time so you can wake up early again tomorrow. No, nobody thinks that's sexy. Why? Why is it sexy to be at the nightclub at 3 in the morning getting obliterated, but it's not sexy to wake up at 5 a.m. to hit the gym? All right? It's up to you to redefine that reality. To me, being at the nightclub at 1 a.m. sounds like the worst possible experience ever. It sounds awful, okay? And you might be different. You might have your own version of reality. I'm not here to judge you. But to me, when I see people on Instagram, right, then they're in the nightclub at 1 a.m., the way I view it is kind of like watching like a guy like eat like a ton of burgers. I'm like, burgers, and I'm like, I mean, maybe you enjoy that, but it doesn't sound like the best thing you should probably be doing right now. And a lot of those same people, you guys have to understand, like have debt, they can't pay their bills. Like, how many people do you see go to Vegas and they're like, wow, I need to escape, right? So the seed of strength is the discipline that is going to seed that you don't want to escape your reality anymore. Because if you constantly want to escape your reality, then what you're going to find is that you're not going to like your reality, which means you're not going to like yourself in your reality, which means, you know what, other people aren't going to like you. And yes, then they're going to pick you and they're going to put you down. And yes, then you're going to feel weak relatively to them. But if you love your existence, if you love it, if you're on fire, if you're lit up, okay, this week's your opportunity to be lit up, which means have the discipline, do the thing, wake up early, go to bed early, eat healthy, get your stuff done, okay? It's not sexy, nobody wants to hear it, but you know what? That's what makes you better. That's what gives you strength. That's what gives you consistency and resilience and the ability to push through obstacles that other people can't even come up to. Other people can't even come up to that while you're over there, you're climbing, you're breaking it down, okay? That's the level you want to get to. And the third, how to not be weak. Start defining your reality and what you stand for and how you want your reality to be. Start creating it, molding it, making it yours. This great planet was put here for us. Okay? It's here. Did you have to pay any money to be here? Do you, like, really look at it? It's your reality. You're not at the mercy of these crazy things. You put yourself where you want to be because you're a human being, and we are blessed to have a certain level of free will and capacity to move ourselves in the direction that we want to go in life. And yeah, it's kind of limited. We're kind of limited to Earth for now. But you know what? Right now, right here, in this time frame, do what you can with it. Start to define your reality. That is the most important thing. And what you're going to do is you're going to fall back on the discipline to do that. Right? You see where I'm going with this? Okay? First off, you're going to give yourself permission to do whatever you want to do. Second off, you're going to be disciplined so that you get those things done. And the third thing is you're going to proactively start to mold and create your reality. And what you're going to notice, and this is the magical, magical moment, is when you go and you create something, you make an impact in somebody else's life. All of a sudden, you find that you don't have the time to feel bad about yourself anymore. You see how that works? Because you've made an impact. You've created something. That is the third and final seat of power for you to really tap into. Number one, give yourself permission to be who you are. Okay? Don't let others define you. You define you. Don't even let me define you. You define you. Two is stay disciplined. Do the things you need to do. Don't apologize for doing the things you need to do. Okay, when my friends want to go out to the club or want to go out to dinner, I can't make it. I don't say, sorry, can't make it. I go, can't make it. Won't make it. Sometimes I'll say, I don't want to make it. Think about that. All right, number three, mold your reality, create your own reality. Start to take actions in the real world. Say, you know what, I want that. Like, I like nice stuff, okay? I like nice stuff. I go, I want that. And I go and I get it. That's it. Simple, right? And what you're going to notice is now, internally, you're no longer perceived as weak to yourself because you know you have the discipline and the permission to do things you need to do. And externally, you're perceived as strong because you're accomplishing the things that you set out to accomplish. So, Motivation Monday. The question for you is, what are you going to do this week with your life? Appreciate you. Got lots of love for you. If you haven't checked out our mentoring program yet, highly recommend it. It's down in the description down below. It's 12 weeks where I teach you everything you need to learn about internet marketing. It's awesome. It's kick-ass. As always, it's Hustle System. My name is Mikhail, where I help people master the mindset, build a better business, help you live your life on your terms. I appreciate you. I love you. Crush it this week. Let's crush it together. Let's get it. And I'll see you in the next video.